Hello and welcome to Froch on Fighting. My name is Carl Froch, aka the Cobra, former unified super middleweight world boxing champion and International Boxing Hall of Famer. So let's get straight into last night's boxing in Manchester. Probably 15,000 there. Moses Itauma knocks out Jermaine Franklin in round 5. He does not often go 5 rounds there. I think he went 6 rounds early on in his career. Then it's been a string of round 1, round 2 knockouts. His last fight, he knocked out Dillian Whyte in Saudi Arabia. We saw that one. That was a good performance. I know Dillian Whyte wasn't quite at the races, not quite himself. He looked a bit sluggish and slow. Got caught with some shots and went over, and it was that was all she wrote. But last night, Moses Itauma against a very game Jermaine Franklin. I thought Jermaine Franklin came and he had a bit of that grip between his teeth. He was biting down on his gum shield and he was relaxed and looking for the counter. He didn't come in there to fall over. That's what I'm saying. I think he knew he was in deep water with Atalma because he obviously knows how good Atalma is. And we'll get into that in a minute. But Jermaine Franklin, he was game. He's never been stopped. He's been 12 rounds with the likes of AJ's. But he's been in there with some decent level operators. Never been stopped. And Atalma got him out of there for the first time in his career. So that's testament to Atalma's power. And the way he broke him down was fantastic. Let's get straight into round 1. Atalma was just on his toes, doing what he does with that snake charming right jab. He's up, he's down with it, down to the body, up to the head. Good head movement. Lots of feints like Usyk, constantly feinting, constantly keeping you on the move, keeping you thinking. You don't know where he's coming from. He'll throw the hook off the jab, he'll throw the lead hook, he throws a shot to the body. And when you attack him, he's got cat-like reflexes. He just reacts and catches you with a shot. I mean, for Jermaine Franklin to go 5 rounds, I thought that was pretty good. It showed that he was game and he was tough and he was well schooled. Never been stopped. He'd been in with some of the best. But he got wiped out in round 5. And I'll tell you what, that uppercut, I remember having some, let's not talk about me, but I hit someone with an uppercut in the amateurs and he was out on his feet, stood there, like knocked out on his feet. And that's what happened last night. And Atalma sort of like put a half jab right hand in, his southpaw, so it was a jab, and just sort of knocked him over. Steve Gray, the referee, was just a split second too late. Not his fault. He saw what was happening. He jumped in to stop the fight. And he was gone. Jermaine Franklin took that uppercut. It just totally took his soul. He was gone. He was out on his feet. Don't know how he didn't fall over. And Atalma just put a little jab into him, a little stiff jab, knocked him over. Face first, he was gone out cold. And what a fantastic knockout and stoppage against somebody who's never been stopped. So Moses Itauma needs a lot of respect and credit for that, and I think everybody else now in that division is having a look, saying, wow. I mean, we saw the reaction at ringside. Fabio Wardley, like, oh, and clapping and just looking at that, probably thinking, yeah, I don't want to be on the end of that. And then you've got Daniel Dubois sitting there, like he does, didn't really do much face expressions, it didn't really give him much sort of, he wasn't animated, was he? A little clap, but he would have even been thinking to himself, wow, that's a good fighter there I've just seen, and what he's just done to Jermaine Franklin, I don't know if I fancy any of that. Obviously, them two are fighting each other. Daniel Dubois and Fabio Wardley, they've got their fight coming up soon. That would be a good one. But I didn't like the way that when Jermaine Franklin got dropped and face first on the floor, that his cornermen were moaning about the stoppage. I mean, I'm sure it took him about 20 seconds to get up. Steve Gray, the referee, very experienced, saw the knockout punch, got in there just as the jab went in, because Atalma could have put 3 or 4 more shots into him, or at least another 2, while he was like on his feet, unconscious, but still stood up. The ref stopped the fight. Jermaine Franklin crashed down face first, and the fight was over. He waved it off straight away. It needed stopping. But there was a bit of controversy after. I'm not going to say loads, but the pundits on the broadcast were talking about it after. Darren Barker and Carl Frampton, they were talking about the stoppage and should it have been stopped. I mean, I agree with the boys on there. Ridiculous. The cornermen should just fucking forget about it. His man got wiped out, and the health and safety of the fighters is paramount. So the referee did what he had to do. But yeah, I just thought I'd mention it because it was a bit ridiculous. But yeah, fantastic result for Moses Itauma. Dangerous fighter, only 21, which I've already mentioned, but he's young, fresh, fast hands, loads of feints, combinations, head and body, punches hard with both hands. This guy could be the future heavyweight and reign for a long time. So great performance from Moses Itauma, and that brings me on nicely to who's next for him. He's mentioned Filip Hrgović, and Hrgović obviously got done by Daniel Dubois. We know Hrgović, he's been around the heavyweight division for a while. He's somebody that if you fight and you beat in style, it sort of shows your level. I just think that Atalma would go in there. I mean, he mentioned Hrgović himself, he kind of called him out, that's why I mentioned it. But Moses Itauma against Hrgovic, for me, it's a one-sided whooping. Moses Itauma at that level where you put him in the top 3 or 4 heavyweights right now at 21 years old with no real experience at world level. That was kind of his coming out party last night, because 15,000 in Manchester, and it almost feels like that was where people now start to recognise him and say, hang on a minute, this guy's bloody good. Look at what he's just done there to Jermaine Franklin. Absolutely spattered him in 5 rounds, and he looked good doing it. Didn't take a shot, did he? May have took one body shot, but what's next for him? I don't think anybody's going to give him a voluntary. He's going to have to work and be mandatory for whichever belt he goes for. The Hrgovic fight's probably a good fight to say, okay, it's somebody else at world level, prove myself again at world level that I'm just going to completely obliterate and dominate anybody below that top 3. And I think that's what he'd do if he fought Hrgovic. He'd just get in there and absolutely, he'd vaporise him just easily. It's almost a mismatch, but he still needs to learn. He needs to go past 6 rounds. He's never been past. He could do with a 10, 12 rounder, a little test. But it's difficult to get. You can't always get them. These top fighters, like when Mike Tyson was coming through, wiping everybody out in a round or 2. The one thing you've got, if you want to criticise it, you're going to say he ain't got the experience to go the distance. But these fighters sometimes don't need it. They're doing the training, they're doing the running, they're doing the sparring, and they are fit enough and capable enough of going 12 rounds. But would you put him in with someone like Alexander Usyk? Maybe. Why not? He might go in there. I mean, would Usyk fancy it? Is mandatory now, Atalma, for some of these belts, WBA, WBO, WBC. He's going to be ranked with all of them. I think he's mandatory for 2 of the belts. But no one's probably going to give him a voluntary, so he's going to have to be mandatory for whoever he fights. What would happen if you went in with Usyk? That's a question there. Who knows? I'll tell you what, it'd be really, really exciting if them 2 were fighting and you'd say, right, you've got a guy here who's had, 11, 12 fights, never been past 6 rounds, and in Moses Itauma, and he's fighting somebody who's just dominated at cruiserweight, dominated at heavyweight. Obviously, he's done Dubois twice, Fury twice, AJ twice, but he's getting old. I just think a peak Usyk against a peak Atalma, you'd have to say Usyk, but Usyk's a natural cruiserweight. Atalma's a big lump. Seen the size of him? Tall, big, strong, heavy, and lightning fast hands like a middleweight. I don't like the Usyk-Atalma fight. I don't like it for Usyk. I think Usyk's done what he needs to do, and I've said before, I'd like to see him just hang his gloves up and just retire as the number 1 king. He's the kingpin of the division, of both divisions, cruiser and heavyweight. He's got nothing to prove, but he loves fighting. He wants to fight again. But would Moses Itauma fancy the fight with Usyk? I'm not even sure if his team would fancy it. You wouldn't usually put somebody like him in at his level with somebody like Usyk, but he might have no option and no choice, because if he keeps obliterating his opponents the way he's doing it, that might be a fight that happens. But yeah, I'm not going to give a prediction on that. I think Usyk's got too much experience. It'd be too good for him. But you just never know, because Moses Itauma looks that good. So Usyk aside, let's not just put him in a box, because he is the best of the best, in my opinion. He's the greatest, but he's at the end of his career. But ringside, you've got Fabio Wardley, you've got Daniel Dubois. I think Moses beats both of them. Obviously, Daniel Dubois has got that punch that could catch him. Actually, as has Fabio Wardley. But I just don't think they're good enough. When you look at Atalma and his speed and his footwork, his combination punching, and the power, it's just very, very good. So I won't put him in with them 2. I think he beats them both, Wardley and Dubois. And then you go across to somebody like, you got Parker as well within that sort of level. He beats Joseph Parker, for me, quite easy. Don't want to give Parker any sticks. He's had a great career and he's a great fighter. And then you've got Anthony Joshua. So if you're looking at the levels of opponents and where he could go, I just think he obliterates all of them. I think he beats all of them fighters. I think he beats AJ. AJ's not fought for ages. He's been done himself a couple of times. The only one left that you could mention there is Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury's well past his best. Tyson Fury's coming back against Makhmudov, so we'll have a look at what he looks like on Netflix. But Moses Itauma, Tyson Fury, who you got? I've got to say Moses Itauma, young, fresh, fast, solid, can punch. Let's have a look what Tyson Fury's got. But this is how much I'm rating Atalma at the minute. He's 21 years old. Let's just enjoy the journey, because I don't think he's going anywhere. So I can't come on without mentioning Big John Fury, the fighting man. I can't not mention him, because I've seen a few bits on social media. He's done a few interviews and he wanted to fight me. He said, I'll fight Froch and I'll do whatever he's going to do to me. I mean, and then we've gone into negotiation stages, not deep into negotiations, but he's been made an offer. So broadcaster, DAZN, promotional company Misfits, because it has to be on a Misfits, because it's not going to get licensed or sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control. It's not going to be able to go on the Tottenham Hotspurs show when Fury fights Makhmudov because it won't be licensed. This is a 60-year-old man chucking his belly and tits around, running his mouth like a big idiot and calling me out, saying he wants to fight me. So the opportunity's been put in front of him. I think it was 7 figures. It was well over £1 million with an upside. And he's now said, I want £2.5 million. He wants more than what he's potentially been offered. I don't know the figures are dead straight, but whatever figures he's been offered, he's gone higher. And that's the most obvious way to not get the fight made. You price yourself out. So he's asked for too much money. I've also seen a video of him saying he wants to give 75% of it to charity. If he wants to give 75% of the money to charity, why is he worried about making £2.5 million instead of £1.5 million? Just give it to charity. If you want to fight and you're causing a scene and running your gobshite mouth in public, trying to get attention, then take the fight. Like you've had opportunities put in front of you for Joe Egan. Mickey Theo ages ago, you bottled it. And then now me. But you ran your mouth and started on me at the press conference. If you don't want to fight, just leave me alone. Don't start running around like a pillow, like an idiot, making a show of yourself if you've got no intentions of fighting. Anyway, he's been offered the money. He's tried to almost double the money to price himself out. And the other thing he said, so this might change things, he said he wants Tommy to fight first. He manages Tommy, his son. You obviously know Tommy Fury, he fought Jake Paul. He manages him. And he said, I wanted to get him a fight before I think about myself fighting. Well, Tommy Fury is now fighting Eddie Hall. We'll get into that in a minute. So now Tommy's fighting. The opportunity for Big John Fury, the fighting man who never fights, to fight me. But yeah, it's just, I mean, be honest, I can't be arsed anyway. And if I did fight him, what would it be? It'd be a couple of jabs to the face, a couple of rib shots. I actually saw him throwing some shots with my mate Spencer Oliver, on a little video he did. He's all about jabbing me in the face and walking me down with his guard up and sending in the body shots and backing me up. Listen, it won't happen. It won't get near me. The minute he gets it within any range, the speed and the power of the Cobra detonating on his chin, fight's over. I wouldn't even want to hit him on the chin. I think I'd just mix him around the body and take my time with him and, yeah, be a little bit careful with him because as big and as scary and as big as his mouth is, I think he's a little bit fragile, if I'm honest, around the body, in the head, because I've seen a few interviews where I actually feel a bit sorry for him. And he seems like a good crack and all sometimes, but listen, John Fury's been offered the fight, he's been offered the money, he's turned it down, he's on about giving it to charity, and he's got no intentions of ever fighting. So I had to mention it because I've seen a lot of bullshit on the socials. But yeah, just know that if he doesn't fight, it's because of him and nobody else. So I mentioned it there, Eddie Hall and Tommy Fury, they're fighting. I mean, bit of a joke shot really, but that's what it is, isn't it? It's a bit of fun. It'd be like going to the Christmas panto, it'll be enjoyable. But Eddie Hall's a big, strong guy, Mr. Strongman, wasn't he? Strongman, how many years? I mean, and he's got that mindset as well. I know he had some aggro, people pulling up outside his ass, and he goes out there, doesn't he? And he'll have a tear up. So, and I also see him splatter two of them twins. Were the twins, 2 young blonde lads that were jumping on his back in a bit of, was it in the cage, that kicking, punching, elbow, and he just picked them up and ragdolled them. Put a few shots in. So Eddie Hall can let hands go. He can throw a few punches. He's big and strong and heavy. So if he clips Tommy Fury on the chin, that could be all she wrote. I can't get my words out. El Sparko. He'd be flattened. So Tommy Fury has confirmed to me now that he's not serious about boxing. His old MO is the old Bunsen burner. He just wants to make money. And fair play to him. He's on Love Island. He's had a few fights. He beat Jake Paul, and he's done nothing really since. He pulled out of the Darren Till fight. That was disappointing, but that's probably a good move on his part because Darren Till might have done him, and that'd be the end of his little reign. He was worried about getting kicked or some bollocks. But anyway, Tommy Fury, Eddie Hall, it is what it is. I'll be watching. Like I said, it'd be like going to a pantomime. It'll be good fun. But Tommy Fury needs to be careful because if Eddie Hall clips him on the chin, honestly, it could be serious. I know Tommy Fury's kind of a certain level of a professional boxer, and Eddie Hall's not a boxer, but he can have a fight and he means business. The only thing I will say about it is there's lots of stuff for them two working together and doing little clips on social media. They're actually friends, they're mates. So have they got their heads together and gone, yeah, let's have a little roll around, let's have a little dust up, and we'll just take our time, which is fair enough. It's a bit WWE, isn't it? It is what it is. It's not professional boxing. It's a show. It's something to go and watch. It's entertainment. And yeah, hopefully we're entertained. So before I leave, I can't go without mentioning Dave Allen, a friend of the show, Froch on Fighting regular. Dave Allen, everyone loves us when we're on here as well, chatting away. He's fighting Filip Hrgovic. Now, Filip Hrgovic, I think it's going to be a test for Dave Allen. It's not something he can't win. Dave Allen can get the job done. But Hrgovic's probably two best wins are Joe Joyce and Zhilei Zhang. So he's quite capable. He's kind of a fringe level world champion. He's never been a world champion, but he's on the fringe. He's on that sort of level where he'll probably never be a world champion, Hrgovic. He's not good enough. But this is a good fight for Dave Allen. It's actually in Doncaster Stadium, so it could be up to 15,000 people there at the stadium for Dave Allen. This is a great little fight for Dave Allen. I can't wait to get him on and chat to him about it. But yeah, fair play to him. He's got a good fight. The Doncaster fans are going to turn up for him, and Dave Allen's a character, and he'll go in there and he might just get the job done. And yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. That's June 2nd. Doncaster Stadium, Dave Allen, Filip Hrgovic. Great little fight, looking forward to it. So that's it for another episode of Froch on Fighting. A couple of good fights over the next couple of weeks. We've got Derek Chisora takes on Deontay Wilder. I'll be across that fight, hopefully get a chat with both of them. Then the week after that, of course, we've got Tyson Fury, the Gypsy King, against Makhmudov. I'm looking forward to being there. I'll be going to that fight, really looking forward to it. Gypsy King's back out of retirement again for the 5th time. Let's see what he's got left in the tank.